Steven Bartlett has recently announced the launch of his new company, Flight Studio. It's a podcast media production company. Now, let's take it back to the fact that he ignored me. A short while ago now, Steven Bartlett put an outreach on his LinkedIn basically saying, I want to hire you. It was to everyone and anyone. It had no specific job description, and it basically said, as long as you are hardworking and you tell me what you're passionate about, I want to hire you. It was quite vague. Usually I would perhaps scroll, and this time I thought, I'm not going to scroll. I'm going to take action on this. But little did I know, 20,000 other people would do the same. I decided to brainstorm, but I wanted to act on this as soon as possible because I didn't want my email to be lost amongst the 20,000 others that were about to apply too. So quickly I brainstormed and I had to say to myself, what is it that I am the most passionate about? And I came to the conclusion that if you're a loyal subscriber of my YouTube, you'll know it's about mental wellness and mental well-being. Therefore, I wanted to do something along those lines, but how could that possibly be a job? And surely, Eleanor, your background is marketing, your background is books. Why would you not apply for a role in that area? Well, you see, Steven Bartlett works in marketing himself in that industry. Therefore, I would literally be competing along with the best in the business. And quite frankly, I wouldn't stand a chance. Therefore, I took a risk and I wanted it to pay off. I was looking for a new role at the time, and I'm going to tell you my exact application because he asked for a short email about what this role would be, why you want it, and why you'd be good at it. But I am extra Eleanor, and I didn't just do an email. I'm going to show you my exact process from the PDFs I made to the video I made, the testimonials I got. And I did vlog along the way because I really hoped that somewhere down the line I would have got it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the exact process and I'm going to show you the video that I sent Steven Bartlett and his team in the hopes to grab their attention. But as we now have found out what the role he was hiring for has been announced because of his new media production company, I'm going to instead give you the scoop on who he hired instead and why. And let's brainstorm together on why I think I didn't actually get it. I feel actually sick. I've literally spent the last 2 or 3 days doing this application to work for Steven Bartlett because he put out this call out about just want someone that works hard, basically. I always have space for them. I've spent all day today either recording in this seat and then editing and trying to do graphics and teach myself things to make it look good. I've then put the video on YouTube but under unlisted so only certain people can see it, and then in the description I've done a PDF linking to the proposed job description and my CV and everything like that. I really hope it pays off. I think he specifically asked for people that are hard working and I just wanted to prove that, and I just literally feel so nervous. I've never been so nervous for a job before, and I think it's because I genuinely really want it. Not that I haven't wanted jobs before, but I feel like I've been sweating, I've been nervous, I feel like I'm scared. He also put out an update to say that they've received thousands of applications already in a couple of days, and it just doesn't look good, does it? If I go over onto YouTube, there's the video. There it is, waiting, and then I've put in the description a link to the thing. So now it's literally time to email them. Oh. I hope nobody is listening, but if the hiring team are, then please keep this to yourself. Eleanor Marie Rose. First and foremost, a person. A marketing manager, a publishing professional, a photographer, a content creator, a dog lover, but above all, a change maker. I'm applying for the role of team wellbeing manager, and here's the story. I've worked in corporate for over 4 years. I'm old enough to be a respected professional with many skills gained and lessons learned, but skills can be taught. You've asked for a hard worker. Well, you're looking at one. Well, you're looking at me on the screen, but you know what I mean. I think one of the highest values is self-respect, but in this case, don't just take it from me.
I'm Georgina and I'm the digital content creator at Kent Radio, and Eleanor, who's my manager, who I report to. She truly is the best. She's been the best mentor for me. She's improved my skill set, my time management, my organisation. Truly the list is endless, but yes, she's the best. She gives the best constructive feedback. You know, she'd never hurt your feelings, but she wants you to improve. And she's also, not just for me, but for the team, she boosts morale so much. And I think she'd be an amazing addition to whoever's team she joins next.
I'm Sophie and I'm a presenter. I've worked for companies such as Virgin, TikTok, Currys, the BBC and Gala. And most recently, I was working with the wonderful Eleanor. She was our marketing manager. Now, what can I say about Eleanor? She is genuinely a really wonderful person. She brought so much positive change to our team, change that was really needed, but I don't think we realised how much we needed it until we had Eleanor. Everyone spoke so highly of her. She worked so hard. She was just so incredible at what she did. She was our marketing manager. But above all with Eleanor, she always cares about people. She always wants to do things to better the company and to better the people. And honestly, my life has been better since I met her, and I know that the whole company completely agree with me. So yeah, Eleanor, she is genuinely just brilliant, and she'd be an asset to any team she was a part of.
So what am I bringing? Well, I've won a real Grammy. Okay, it may be fake, but it does say that I'm a Content Queen award and it was for a fake Dundies. But I've also achieved 25% of a 24-month sales target in the first 1 month of the book publication of a campaign I was working on. Therefore, I have proven results-driven marketing campaigns. I independently managed over 60 books in 1 year. I've secured national newspaper slots for interviews and feature coverage, including the Daily Mail, the Guardian, the Times, the BBC and the Scotsman. As of late, I've managed the development of marketing in radio, notably fostering a meaningful relationship in the community with schools, promoting creative careers in media and radio. I spent 2 years working 20-hour weeks for free on top of my full-time job, creating YouTube videos to demystify the publishing industry and mentoring for entry-level roles. I'm the only person in the UK to have done this, and I've been endorsed by universities across the UK and the likes of the Publishing Training Centre. I independently organise our college's graduation, and I've managed countless events since. I incorporate wellbeing wherever I go, be it content creation on my personal socials, setting up staff days like mindfulness painting, or raising money for charities. I didn't go to uni, but I did sit all of my GCSEs, receiving A's, having missed school for 3 months and coming straight out of hospital. I'm dedicated to working hard and giving my all. I'm not a trained therapist, but I have run mental health awareness networks across corporate businesses. I've raised money for mental health charities such as Mind. I've led workshops on reflection and goal setting. And in my spare time, I'm always looking for ways for self-improvement and progressing in my career.
To give a little bit of an insight into my recent workshop that I attended that was done by my good friend Eleanor Rose. It was a 2023 reflection and 2024 goal setting workshop, and it was a great way to start the year. We did it bright and early on a Sunday morning, and Eleanor had planned it all out. So we had a amazing PowerPoint to refer back to, with lots of thought-provoking quotes and questions and ideas, mind maps and things, how to set things out. She had examples of what she'd done before because she does it every year. She showed us her notebook and her journaling. And I said to Eleanor, it's very evident that it comes across in her life that she does do this sort of goal setting and planning, and it really makes a positive difference, which is why I wanted to take on the workshop myself and hear how she does it. So I've come away really motivated, excited to journal, and it's just put me in a great mindset for this next year, and I can't wait to take another one with her because she's very inspiring and just an all-round great positive influence.
So what would I do? I would make a difference. I'm dedicated to improving things, finding efficiency and making a change. In the description box below, you can find a full job description that I've created. But in summary, this role would oversee team communication, wellbeing content creation, managing wellbeing events, strategic planning, third-party program planning, HR collaboration, internal research and recognition awards, all with the core aim to enhance employee satisfaction and retention. But why me? Well, time for the sob story. I've had the unfortunate experiences of MDD, GAD, PTSD, admittance to hospital twice for suicide attempts and being signed off work for stress. Fair to say I'm passionate about this, but I've also had the years of CBT and therapy. I've got the key skills such as compassion, communication, strategic thinking, event planning. I've got the evidence from setting up Mental Health Awareness Week initiatives, running mental health staff networks for corporate businesses, setting workshops for 2024 goal setting and raising money for charities, on top of uploading wellbeing videos online. I've also got an interpersonal connection. I'm the go-to friend for help. But above all, when I was trying to think what can I bring to Steven Bartlett and the Flight Story group, it's my attitude and my work ethic. So why is this role needed? Well, according to a study by the University of Warwick, happy employees are on average 12% more productive than their counterparts. A study found that companies with high levels of employee engagement and well-being experience 59% less turnover, This highlights the positive impact of wellbeing events on employee satisfaction and retention. And according to a study by PwC, 76% of employees expect their employer to take an active role in their physical and mental wellbeing. So will you take this action? To conclude, as I'm sure you're short for time, I'm a trier. I put my all into everything I do, so a conversation for your business and your needs will go a long way because you're dealing with someone that has flexibility, professionalism, but above all has a really strong work ethic that I think is unmatched. I always seek improvements in every aspect of life and I'm confident I can bring a positive change. I'm out here challenging stereotypes. I've been professionally mocked for my accent and my background. I didn't go to university, I started working from a young age. But all of this I've used to grow and educate others. As you, Steven, often advocate for the people over their degrees, I hope I can prove to you that this would be an opportunity that would benefit both parties. I don't need to give the whole thing of it's a dream and I've been following it from the start, but I was inspired by your hiring of Will for Doak's weekly vlogs. I was inspired by your hiring of the hilarious title of Head of Failure, and it's a dream opportunity for me. I'm going to let you into a little secret. My top dream company to work for. Steven, you said that change is inevitable in life and business. So let's work together and make a change together. I hope to see you soon. Please now check below for a PDF because further details of my application can be found in the description box down below. So that was kind of like an introduction and an overview, but as you can see, even in that video, I kind of tried to go the extra mile by making a whole newspaper, printing it, getting one of my actress friends to react to it, tried to get the testimonials from people I've worked with and friends, and also that was quite hard because I didn't tell them what it was for, because I was kind of embarrassed and I kind of wanted to keep it in secret until it came true, and look at me now, I'm literally putting it for the world to see that it didn't come true. However, I kind of hoped that if this didn't come out, they would have perhaps seen some other skills I had, even from like the editing. So the start of the video, it's me saying I got a job with Steven Bartlett. It's the editing of putting the whole video together. It's the script writing. Perhaps they would have seen some skills elsewhere that they wanted to apply instead. Because as I said, I've done like a mind map of dream companies that I'd want to work for, and Diary of a CEO and working for Steven Bartlett was on there. Let's go through the PDF that I sent, which has a bit more detail. I'll put it on the screen, but it says, hopefully by now you've watched this video, keep reading for all these things. So proposal and logistics, job description and responsibilities, how I'm dedicated to wellbeing, the business case, because at the end of the day, great, this has to work for me and this is an ideal for me, but it needs to work for the business at the same time as well. Testimonials and endorsements, CV, the newspaper cover as you've seen in the video, because the whole thing is like written like a newspaper as well, which you obviously don't get from the 2 seconds that you see it on the video, and contact. I say that, I've been brainstorming over the last couple of days and it's been great, and I hope this has given an insight into the work ethic and dedication I have. Basically, I kind of went with the idea that I want to make it as easy as possible for them, so I try to do as much work as possible. So even here, I've even listed like the types of job titles that I could have related to this role. Contract, I've said available for full-time, part-time or FTC, salary to be discussed. Then in terms of the job description, I literally spent so long on making this job description because I wanted to make sure that, as I said, it would work with current teams that exist. I wanted to make sure that it would work with what I'm actually passionate about. Like, essentially, I had this golden ticket of, if you could make up your dream role, what would it be doing? And this is what I came up with. So, pivotal role focused on cultivating a positive and supportive work environment, responsible for managing key wellbeing events, orchestrating regular team catch-ups, creating short and long-form content, and initiating third-party assistance programs. The role would demonstrate a commitment to employee satisfaction and retention. Because this is kind of like a HR-y thing, I've put collaborating with HR. This role would ensure effective implementation of wellbeing policies, fostering a positive workplace culture. And following Steven Bartlett's journeys online, I can see as well that something about the way that he approaches his staff and the wellbeing and supporting his team to the best as possible as well. I kind of thought this would resonate with him a little bit. This role requires a diverse skill set encompassing leadership, communication, event management, and a passion for promoting employee wellbeing, as well as like content creation stuff. It would report directly to either a HR representative or the acting managing director. So in terms of actual job responsibilities, so for example, and I've listed it into what the overall task would be, the skills and the business purpose. So first of all, I'd organise wellbeing events for staff. This would be event management and organisation. Business purpose would be to create positive work culture, blah, blah, blah. Manage regular catch-ups with teams, like being really honest and open communication about team management, day-to-day workload, that kind of thing. take short and long form content, such as with staff and street interviews, using like TikTok and photography skills, to have a bit of social media presence on this side, increased publicity that's positive, and content for repurposing across channels as well. Create a year-long campaign plan for the business, because again, this kind of has to work for the business. They need to see where this is going, and it's not just hippy dippy role, if you like, that has no structure or purpose or aim, which includes like organisation, research, management, I suppose kind of strategic planning in that sense as well. Here we go, to provide strategic direction, providing a roadmap for the business while providing a sense of purpose. Next task would be initiate and manage third-party assistance programs such as EAPs, regular talks with existing HR to manage wellbeing policies such as flexible working, negotiating there, running guided mentorship and mindfulness and reflection workshop for staff, things I've done before, but like giving back to staff support, trying to reduce stress, and hopefully not one of those things where you just attend these events and then that's it, you kind of forget it. It's one of those things that you attend and then you take away those skills, a bit like CBT, where it's not just you go and you talk, but you change your mindset so that you can use it in your day-to-day life at work anyway. Second to last, but conducting regular staff surveys and feedback. I generally have a passion for like research, kind of like an editorial focused thing, like a reporter journalism kind of thing, but specifically primary research as well. So making data-informed decisions, providing information for the business's staff satisfaction, contributing to kind of like that retention, making sure that they stay with the business, because we all know it's more expensive to rehire than to retain. And finally, organise business staff recognitionals, which I think would be really fun, because I've done something similar where we organise awards for local businesses. So for the actual staff, I think it would be really fun as well. And because it's kind of like a small-ish team that I'm aware they have at the moment, but they have teams across the whole business, it will kind of just be about fostering a culture of appreciation. So I've said about my dedication to wellbeing, like why me? Because I don't have a degree in psychology and I'm not a trained therapist, I know that, but I've said, but tied with my corporate experience and skill set, this role will be driven by passion and professionalism. I've done things such as initiating a mental health staff network. I've completed the mental health first aid course a couple times. I've done team wellbeing check-ins as well. I mass produced these things called Smile Saviours, which was essentially in an effort to share positivity around the world with strangers and break a stigma around mental health. I've done things like charity bake sales and charity runs. I do my wellbeing content creation as well, like on my YouTube and on my TikTok and everything. I'm literally looking at about 100 books in terms of like CBT, psychology, that kind of thing as well. Not just like self-care, how to be happy, but like actual mindset shifting and ways that it can actually be productive. And then I've gone on to the business case. Why is this role needed? Well, I've said productivity, retention and employee satisfaction. Finance, because you're talking about the fact that people can be signed off work with stress, and also because of the fact that companies nowadays are expected to look after their staff. I'm not going to read all these out because, as you can see, they're quite chunky, but I've kind of given some testimonials, endorsements as well of people from people that I've worked with. I then attach my CV, which goes on about my experience working in marketing, doing campaigns, doing content creation, photography, the likes. And finally, I've done my Steven Bartlett hires Eleanor, so bringing you the most exclusive insider knowledge from the business scene. This week's edition includes an astonishing announcement on Steven Bartlett's team hiring a passionate marketing and wellbeing entrepreneur. Flight Story Group celebrate their newest hire. I've tried to act as if I'm like really shocked about getting the job there. It's so cringe when I look at this back. Eleanor Rose pictured is eager to prove everything, going to extreme lengths to show the benefits her hire will bring to the business scene. Steven Bartlett's growing team will be discussing with Eleanor soon the exciting next steps moving forward. Her experience spans impressive marketing campaigns, community-driven initiatives, and a huge wellbeing ambassador. Smart decision. Steven Bartlett's legendary business will soon be marking the day Miss Rose joins the scene, making a difference, unsurprising to anyone. This was so kind of big-headed of me, if you like. And I don't necessarily think big-headed. I think that's, again, wrong mindset. Let's change that. Confident of me. It was a risk, and the risk didn't pay off this time. I wanted to keep tabs on this. I could see that a few people had watched the YouTube video because it was an unlisted YouTube video, so I could see when the views went up. So I don't know if they saw this video or not. I don't know if they did. I want to say yes, but at the same time they had 20,000 other applicants for different roles. But I've seen that Steven Bartlett hires untraditionally. He does this thing where he'll just post on his LinkedIn, I need this kind of person who's up for it. Slightly unfair, perhaps. I've seen that his marketing director, I think she is Grace Andrews, she's literally commented on someone's TikTok before being like, okay, come work for us. I saw that someone went to extreme lengths where they essentially hired a billboard to go on the back of a truck to arrive at the exact same time that Steven Bartlett exited the stage door of the performance so that he'd see it. And he also hired Will, who dropped out of uni to become his behind-the-scenes videographer, who now runs the Behind the Diary account, which is so much better, might I say, than all the other things put together. So I kind of, perhaps delusional, perhaps confident, but it was risky. I did vlog in the hopes that it might have paid off. Here was my little videos. I'm saving this video for the very, very, very off chance that I get hired by Steven Bartlett. It is January the 20th. This week I had an absolute whirlwind of finding out all sorts of my boss and what I've done, and so I quit. That's left me unemployed this week, and so I've been on the hunt for jobs. Perfectly timed, Steven Bartlett has put out a call out on his Instagram to basically say, no, on his LinkedIn to basically say, we're hiring and you get to choose the job, and the job description just tell me, he's basically just said, tell me what you're good at and why we should hire you. So if there's one time, because understandably I felt demotivated this week, right, and even applying for some of these jobs I'm doing it half-assed, but if there's one time I'm gonna like actually put in the most amount of effort, it's gonna be to work for Steven Bartlett, and I get to pick and choose. It's not like I'm having to fit my experience and explain how it's relevant to the job description. Like, I am making up the job description, so it feels crazy and unreal and unrealistic. But Steven Bartlett's videographer Will did exactly this. He said, oh, I've just put an application in, if it comes to it, you know, I'll come back to this. So that's exactly what I'm doing. This video may well stay on my hard drive for time to come, but Milo's gonna wish me luck, aren't you? Yes. Okay, I'm gonna say, hi team, I hope you are well. Please, my application of mentioned title can be found, video link, brackets, redirect, wishes, and look forward to hearing from you. It's tense. Like, it would have come at the perfect time, because I don't know how much I'm going to say, but essentially I had to quit my job. Once it was like the best job, it was the perfect job. That's all I'm going to say on that. Oh, I don't want to send it! Oh, I just literally don't want to send it. I do, but I don't. Oh, it's such a funny feeling. I'm just going to go back over what he said in the original post. Send me an email to work at. Done. Done. I've got the email. Oh, I literally feel sick. I'm going to cry only because I want it to work out so badly. But I'm just getting my hopes up, and I just send. Oh! I wonder when I'll hear back. It made me wonder if people believe that I'm the person going through the emails myself, so I want to clarify. Steven Bartlett said, I view hiring as my single most important responsibilities. I don't think there are many things more important to my company than that. I currently interview every person that joins my team myself, and I spend a lot of time going through this inbox looking for great people. Okay, wish me good. I might put this video out anyway, so that you can kind of come with me on the journey. Even if I don't get it, so you can kind of see like how I approached it and what the next steps are in my career and what the process was like applying for a Steven Bartlett job. It is 1 week later and I've not heard anything back. I feel like I've done one of those things as well where I've told so many people now that everyone's like, oh, have you heard back? And I'm like, no, I should have just kept it quiet. No, but I was really proud at the same time of what I did. Steven Bartlett did edit one of his LinkedIn posts to say, oh, they're only like 20% of the way through the application, so there's still time to put in an application. They've not gone for everyone yet. But I just think maybe I was punching. But then you don't get these things if you don't try, right? I don't regret doing it and trying, and I've done that kind of experiencey thing now, but it's a shame not to hear anything back, and I assume that they've probably had thousands of emails. They're probably not going to email people back unless they're successful. As I said, I am now in a role. However, it's something that it's definitely still an avenue that I like to explore in the long-term future. He has since announced that he has worked with a couple of really great marketing, like really well-experienced business professionals and entrepreneurs to help him launch this, which now, given the context, now that we know what this role hiring it for was, it makes sense. You know, perhaps that's not what I applied for, was more for an existing team as opposed to the launch of a new company, which we didn't have the context for at the time. So I really hope it does go well for them. Sometimes I think not getting a reply is just so much worse than having an email that is really blunt, just says, no, you weren't successful, thanks though. I think it says a lot about a company. And having not had that was surprising and a little upsetting, I will say, especially when you put so much work into it. You know, that feeling of when you spend a few days on an application and the script writing and the editing, the video and everything, and put those PDFs together, it can feel like you've got this kind of closeness to this application, you really hold out for it. But when it came to the fact that, okay, this isn't where this is going, it was slightly disappointing. So perhaps I'd love to hear your thoughts on if you think companies should reply, especially when you have that many emails come in. Should they reply? Should they spend the time saying thank you for your application, but no, thanks, but no? It'll be interesting to hear your thoughts also on my application. I don't necessarily need what I could have done better, because as I said, I'm fine now. But it would be interesting to hear your thoughts. Once I sent the application, I did then tell a few friends and family, and they were really, rooting for me, if you like. But as I said, I have my role now, but it is an avenue that, in terms of the job description, the direction that I personally want to take, and you probably would have seen this from all the content that I do as well, like longevity, like building up my skills now, I think is so important, and then honing on those skills to something that I'm more passionate about. If you made it through all 8 minutes of that video, and then a further few minutes of me talking through the PDF, then well done. Thank you. Thank you for being on this journey of me talking about my career. I've got other videos of my career as well. For now, thanks for watching, and watch this space.